General public comment. And let's see who we have on deck. Who do we have up and on deck? Okay, I've got Herman. Come on up. Wayne from Encino.
I really got to thank you there, Mr.
You got a minute.
1 minute? Well, in the past we had 2 minutes, but I could fucking take care of this shit on the home project located for hotel. The FBI has stepped into the city of Los Angeles investigating Mr. Jose Huizar on item 9. And I made a report as objection to the proposed AECOM hotel project off of 1155 South Olive Street because you're under an investigation. There's no fucking way my white nigga ass is gonna let some fucking fool wetback from Zacatecas take away our projects.
Please stay on the topic, sir.
I read here, it says no committee impact statement, nigga, and I'm the impact statement. I'm here to propose, fool, what kind of dumbass nigga Jose Huizar is fucking up my city off of Fiesta Broadway. Now my general motherfucking public comment. You can't suppress me under free speech because free speech means that you can't censor niggas like me under MOUs who come here under NWA to make you understand, you dumb nigga. I get 2 minutes, motherfucker. Otherwise, it'd be 1 minute under general public comment. And that's the reason why Javier Bracero, that fucking wetback general attorney, needs to listen to me. He needs to fucking open up the floodgates and let those fucking fools from Central America come in on those fucking buses. And I told Ms. Bass and that other black bitch, when you're sending the buses out to the border, bitch, because this is sanctuary cities, I pay millions of dollars on taxes, and I want my city folks in the fucking city of LA so I can tell you motherfuckers, bitch off with a badge, motherfucker.
Thank you. Wayne from Encino.
Motherfucking give me that dick. Hey, we get this motherfucking shit out number 9, motherfucker. How come number 9? How come number 9, motherfucker? How come number 9? We got Jose Huizar in the LA Times claiming everything should be deferred to FBI investigation, fool. You gotta go Google that shit. So what the fuck is item 9? You wanna evaluate some project with a bunch of payoffs, a bunch of Chinese money down in our hood in 1155 South Olive Street. Fuck Jose Huizar. Fuck his corruption. Fuck Plum. I want this project killed, and I want to go right back to the beginning where the motherfucker done, where all the FBI agent will evaluate whether there've been payoffs on this shit. We don't want economic development by fraud. We don't want motherfucking indictments by fraud. No, we want the project fair, because you know this project ain't fair. You know that Dale Richardson and Associate get money. You know that Mrs. Huizar, when she ain't sucking some other dick, getting the money. You know that motherfucking Huizar, he screw all the pussy he can get on city property. That motherfucker, he take all the pussy he can get. City paid pussy on item 9. Yes, sir, that is a sleazy, wheezy Jose Huizar. And the chair who's under FBI investigation thinks that that motherfucker is not trying to back up his brother. He ain't your brother, fool. No, Jose Huizar gonna rat your ass out when the time comes. He gonna take a deal. He gonna say, Current Price told me to steal. Current Price told me to do the ACOM. Current Price goes over to Inglewood with his Dale Richardson and Associates, and he's stealing the Rams and the goddamn Clippers. That's right, fool. So I say no to motherfucking 9. Fuck Jose Huizar. Prison for that stupid fucking bitch.
That concludes the general public comment and the multiple agenda item comment. If there are no objections, we're going to move items 3, 5, 6, 7, 10, and 11 on consent. I'll repeat, 3, 5, 6, 7, 10, and 11.
Move the items.
Okay, that will be the order. Mr. Busciano, if there's no objection, we're going to continue item number 8.
Second.
And that brings us to item number 1, Mr. Clerk.
Item number 1 is communication from the mayor relative to the appointment of Ms. Bricia Lopez to the Board of Los Angeles Convention and Tourism Development for the term ending June 30th, 2022.
Ms. Lopez, would you care to join us, please?
How am I going to follow that one?
Yeah, well,
Wow. Big shoes to fill.
very carefully, I hope.
Please don't follow.
But in your
Honored.
but in your own words, tell us why you'd like to serve on this commission.
Well, first and foremost, I want to thank everybody for your time, too, and for your commitment to Los Angeles. I'm just excited to be even acknowledged as a fellow Angelino who loves LA so much. I myself, as an immigrant, moved to LA when I was 10 years old and just fell in love with the city right away. I love the food culture. I love the diversity. I love the people. I love the community. I'm part of the food community, the women community here in LA. And I am very excited to have someone who looks and talks like me considered in such an important commission. So thank you.
Well, we had a chance to chat with you last week and,
Yes.
and appreciate your enthusiasm and your interest in serving. How can we do a better job of marketing cultural tourism in our city, in addition to the well-known places that people want to come and visit? How can we help illuminate and highlight undiscovered gems in our community?
Yeah. I think right now the way that people are getting their perspective of Los Angeles, and I think the world in general, is obviously through the media that they see in their phones. I've seen that firsthand traveling to places where I see people who I admire and love go throughout the world. I think that people here in LA, when they come here, they go to places that are hidden, that aren't as popular. They want to see those places. They want to feel like they're discovering a certain part of LA they've never seen. And I've seen that throughout the world, and I'm seeing it here in Los Angeles.
So how do we get that to happen here? How do
Yes,
we...
well, I hear it in LA. There are so many, for example, you have something like Koreatown. I think Koreatown is so multicultural, and you bring these people who have a bigger voice to experience those experiences. Like, for example, in Koreatown, Chinatown, I've seen so many beautiful things happening in Chinatown, the Arts District, those little pockets that are not seeing as much in Los Angeles. For example, something like the Hollywood Walk of Fame, for example, or Universal Studios. And I think it's just about grabbing those eyes and grabbing those attentions and that attention and bringing them to what really is Los Angeles. And also, food is always one of the most important aspects of tourism. So many more people are traveling for food today. I go back to Koreatown because I've seen how much the food culture has grown there firsthand. And just so many incredible restaurants opening all over. I see The Row, for example, being another food destination spot happening in the years to come. The Arts District, so many new restaurants are coming in as well. Highland
Avenue.
Park, for example.
Central Avenue?
Yes, Central Avenue, Englewood, with the new development that's happening there. I mean, I went to a restaurant called Atla on Adams. I think what's happening in the Adams District too is incredible, and it's. I think the diversity in food here in Los Angeles is unique in the entire country. I've never witnessed so much diversity in food anywhere else. And I think that anybody that wants to experience incredible Southern food, incredible Mexican food, incredible Korean food, Asian food, Chinese food, Thai food, American food, and the California cuisine itself, there's no better place to go than Los Angeles.
Okay, thank you. Councilman, any thoughts about food or anything else?
Yeah, and Italian food, right?
And I mean, you know what? I'm not going to name Italian because I have had some Italian food somewhere else, so I don't know.
Gotcha.
I don't want to get
My
in
mom's
trouble.
house. My mom's house.
There you go.
Figure it
Maybe
out.
you can open your house
Listen,
for tourism.
For sure. For sure. Thanks, Ms. Lopez. And I'm really excited about this appointment from the mayor. And Laura and I were talking about this morning, how appropriate that we have you, an entrepreneur, a small business owner who has led the way in branding micheladas and mole in the city of Los Angeles. That's so LA, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just excited about moving this appointment forward. And you're right. You know, in the same line of questioning of the chairman here, I always feel that you know the neighborhoods are the heartbeat of the city. We're just so diverse. There's so much more to see beyond, like you mentioned, Hollywood and Highland or Universal Studios or Venice Beach. The cultural tourism, I believe, we still need to get a handle on and do a better job of really highlighting neighborhoods. And since I've been here in the last 7 years, the LA Tourism Commission has really focused on doing these small videos, vignettes of neighborhoods across the city of LA.
Yeah, I think the video they produced a couple of years ago, the one, I mean, it's just beautiful to watch. It made me cry the first time I saw
Yeah,
it.
it's powerful.
Yeah, it was
Everyone
very
welcome
powerful,
video.
and I know it was incredibly successful. I mean, I think if I can be any part of that, it's just like an honor.
Yeah, and obviously you clearly have the skills and knowledge, the ability to serve on this commission, and the fact that, you know, with your community leadership awards, and I'm just excited about you working alongside Don Liu and the rest of your colleagues on the commission to do all we can to promote tourism and promote who we are as a city and as a people. So,
Of course, thank you.
Congratulations.
Well, we look forward to supporting your nomination. And,
Thank you.
We know you'll do a great job. And,
Thank you.
And don't be a stranger to this committee.
I won't. And I also think the art scene is incredible too. And I think there's so much art popping up throughout the city that even having some sort of art tour or something to really bring that up and have children just be inspired by that could be also a great way to increase.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
And a shout out to Dom, our GM at the Convention Center. Thank you, sir, for your service. Keep up the good work. Next item.
I'm sorry, sir.
Next item.
The disposition on this item.
We will approve the recommendation.
Thank you. That brings us to item number 2, if you like.
I thought it. Okay. Let's take comment first.
Okay. Did you want me to read that?
Yes, please, if you read that item.
Item number 2 is Economic and Workforce Development Department and Workforce Development Board Joint Report and City Administrative Officer Report relative to accepting Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act grant funds for employment development services for individuals impacted by the Woolsey wildfire and related actions.
Okay, do we have a report? Oh, no, I'm sorry. Let's take public comment. We've got Quadream Hall. Mr. Hall, please join us. Yes, sir. Please proceed.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I had 3 points that I wanted to kind of ask questions on. So the first point, well, before that, my name is Quadream Hall. I'm an LA native for my entire life, and I started a small burger stand, you know, with the SB 946.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just wondering if there was any permits that were going to be granted in the future, if there's any information in that regards, and also. Are you guys considering anything in regards to the aggressive parking tickets that are currently going on in LA? Because there's nowhere to load, unload, you know, for the equipment and everything that. And even when you're doing that, you can get a ticket at any given moment. It's
Is there a particular part of town where you've been getting these tickets? Or?
Yeah, it's going to be 6th and Spring Street.
Okay.
Yeah, so from 2 to 5 you can't park, or from 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. you can't park either. So it's really aggressive. And I get it, the city's got to make money, but at the same time, for vendors who are trying to branch off in and you know give a little bit of culture to the community.
Sure. No, we appreciate that, and we know parking enforcement is an important component on both sides. But why don't you talk to my deputy after the meeting, and she can help direct you.
Okay. Yeah,
Alright.
and the permit thing as well. That's is that is there any talks or any information?
We'll give you some
that?
information on that as well.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, that concludes our comment on this item. Do we have a staff report, please?
Hi, good afternoon, council members. Mark Magallanes from the Office of the CAO. The item before you is a request from EWDD to request authority to accept $10,425,000 in Wioa National Dislocated Worker Grant Funds from the California Employment Development Department. Funding will support the provision of temporary job placement and workforce development services for individuals impacted by the Woolsey wildfire. EWDD also requests authority to contract with Managed Career Solutions for a contract amount of $3,137,000 with a term retroactive to February 1st, 2019 through December 31st, 2020.
For what services?
For job placement services. I'm here with the department, and I could gladly answer any questions.
Okay, just give us some more insight on this grant. I guess it's a one-time effort. Any thoughts of?
So unfortunately, with the wildfires, there was a major displacement that happened, both economically and physically, and folks losing their home and losing their jobs. We actually have responded to federal emergency grants, and we've done it with previous wildfires. For the Woolsey, which was one of the largest ones, we received $10 million. So the first group of folks that are eligible to be hired to actually participate in the cleanup are folks that are displaced from that particular region.
And they'll be paid from this $10 million fund?
Right. Now, I'd love to introduce MCS, Phil Starr, who's the executive director, who led our previous efforts on working on these wildfire grants and has done a fabulous job working with our Department of Sanitation and Public Works Department.
How many individuals do we anticipate being able to hire or take advantage of this?
So this one, with the initial $3 million, is going to be approximately about 200 individuals that we'll start with. Once we're finished with that $3 million, they're going to give us another 7 to expand, and we'll probably do another 500 individuals. They are actually paid through the grant here. The secondary folks that we're able to actually work with, and this is where Phil has actually used our whole system, is to recruit outside of the area. So we have folks throughout the city that are long-term unemployed, being a part of the cleanup.
Oh, good.
So part of the it's not just the working in the cleanup, it's actually giving them the training, the safety training, and getting experiences on their resume to actually help them get back into the permanent workforce.
And what's the term of this grant?
So this
long
grant will
is it
go
supposed to
through
run?
December 2020.
Okay.
And we have a number of subcontractors that will be working, including the Alley Conservation Corps. So we'll be working throughout the city with a heavy focus on folks that have a long-term displacement.
Could you give us a list of those organizations that
Yes.
you're going to be contracting with? Councilman, any questions, any follow-up questions? Okay, thank you, gentlemen, for the report. I think we will approve the CAO's report as presented, and thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Next item.
The next item is item number 4. Chief Legislative Analyst reports relative to proposed changes to the Local Business Preference Program and Bureau of Contract Administration report relative to citywide data for fiscal year 2016-17 Business Enterprise Local Business Preference Program.
Okay, local business preference, something we are all concerned about. How are we using it?
Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Brian Randall with the Office of the Chief Legislative Analyst. With me at the table is Linda McGlinchey of the Bureau of Contract Administration. Before you is a report from our office regarding the Local Business Preference Program. The program provides an 8% preference to eligible local businesses on requests for goods, equipment, supplies, construction, and personal services greater than $150,000. As detailed in our report and as proposed by the Bureau of Contract Administration, our office recommends the following proposed changes to improve the effectiveness of the program. The first is allow manufacturers, representatives, and distributors to receive the preference as long as products are manufactured within Los Angeles County. Number two is,
What's the restriction currently?
I believe right now for services, they are required to pretty much 100% directly provide the services within the county. Is that correct?
Currently, the way the ordinance is written and applied, a supplier can bid and receive the preference so long as 2/3 of the work is performed within LA County. However, that is rather intensive in terms of city staff management confirming that the products often manufactured outside of the county are being received by the supplier in a location in the county and then transported or modified to the end
What's
user.
the distinction we're making here then now?
So this distinction would
As long as
say,
the products are manufactured within the county.
so it would allow a manufacturer's representative or a supplier to receive the preference so long as the product is being manufactured within the county, which would be a much easier verification.
Next.
The third proposal is increase the $100,000 maximum contract threshold for the small local business program to $150,000 to be consistent with the local business preference program and to account for inflation. And the fourth is combine the small local business preference and the local business preference program ordinances. Our report recommends that the Bureau of Contract Administration be instructed to report to council on the next steps required to implement these proposals, and that the city attorney be requested to prepare the necessary ordinances. There was a technical change that was made during the Ad hoc Jobs Committee's consideration of this item regarding recommendation 1C of our report to change the word minimum to maximum. Should your committee wish to move forward with the recommendations in the CLA report, we recommend that you concur with the Ad hoc Jobs Committee and approve the CLA's recommendations as amended.
Okay. How do you think the city can improve its outreach to local businesses to inform them of this program?
It's our understanding that the BCA works with, reaches out, has some activities related to that. I'll let Linda jump in with the details on that.
So we currently participate in several different outreach events annually, as well as BCA takes the lead on 3 Accessing LA events for the contracting community. All of these events, we do talk about the different types of certification, local business being one of those. If these changes are implemented, we would make sure to incorporate the changes into our presentations, as well as through our business assistance virtual network, send out email blasts to all of the registered firms.
Okay. I also would encourage you to work closely with some of the ethnic chambers, the Black Chamber, the Latino Chamber, Asian Pacific, LGBT chambers, as a way of also getting the word out to targeted business communities in ways that may not be aware. Yeah. Councilman, any thoughts?
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you for the presentation. In your report, I just want to know what happened to fiscal year 14-15. Is that not included? Included data from fiscal years 13-14, 16-17, unless I'm missing something.
I believe that BCA is working to update with the most current data.
Okay.
Is that?
That's fine. We can talk offline on it. It's no big deal. As far as the local business preference program, how is it marketed to businesses who do business within the city?
Mm-hmm.
And also, how can we encourage those to do business, more business in the city? Can we be making areas of improvement here?
There's definitely room for improvement. One of the things we've been doing is working with the Chief Procurement Office, who now conducts monthly Department Contract Coordinator meetings, and we use that as a vehicle for informing the people who are supposed to be the department contracting experts about things such as the local business preference program, how it applies, how they should be incorporating it in all of their contracting opportunities. That would certainly help. There's some departments that don't necessarily consistently attend those meetings, and perhaps if we could get better attendance and participation, that would be of help.
Going back to marketing, promoting it, what the chairman's asked. Okay, appreciate that. I think you mentioned this earlier about the maximum contract threshold. Even though there's a recommendation to increase it by 50,000, I believe it's still a little bit low. So, what are your thoughts on that? And why do we have these limitations for our preference programs?
So the limitation of increasing it to $150,000. So currently, there is a gap. The small local business preference ordinance, the maximum is $100,000. Our local business preference ordinance kicks in at contracts exceeding $150,000. So we have that gap of any contracts between $100,000 and $150,000. There's no type of preference awarded.
Got it. I still believe we're leading the country on, supporting our local businesses as it relates to this preference program. I've had colleagues around the country in my affiliation with National League of Cities come to me and asking for how are we doing it here in Los Angeles, and still feel that we are leading this effort compared to other cities across the country. So I just want to acknowledge that and thank you for your guidance and leadership on these issues. So thank you.
Thank you for those questions, Councilman. And thank you for the report. If there are no other objections, we're going to concur. I move that we concur with the ad hoc committee's recommendation. I guess there was an amendment. So we are concurring with the amendment of the ad hoc jobs committee. If there's no objections, that will be the order. All right. Thank you. Next item, Mr. Clerk.
That brings us to item number 9. Item number 9 is Chief Legislative Analyst Report relative to an evaluation of the proposed ACOM Hotel project located at 1155 South Olive Street. And we have, I believe, 5 cards on this item.
Okay, let's take the comment first. Michael Shillstone, Ellie Farmer, Shamari Davis, and Ron Miller.
Good afternoon. I'm Michael Shillstone with Central City Association. We're strongly supportive of the proposed hotel development for 1155 South Olive Street in the South Park neighborhood of downtown. The project will replace a surface parking lot with 243 hotel rooms and active ground floor retail and restaurant space just a few blocks away from the Convention Center, Staples Center, and LA Live. Adding these hotel rooms would further the city's progress in making Los Angeles among the most competitive convention destinations in the country and would bolster our tourism industry, a cornerstone of the city's economy. AECOM and MAC Real Estate have already invested in several residential developments in the area, and this project is another sign of their commitment to the future of downtown and the city. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, Planning Commissioners. My name is Shamari Davis. I'm a business rep for IBW Local 11, and I apologize for losing the key to the insane asylum. For the earlier workers, I'll do better next time. We strongly support this project, ACOM Hotel. It's a local hire, all-union project, which we love because it provides good paying jobs for LA City residents as well as residents in LA County. So we strongly support it, and we hope that you will push it through to the next level. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Good afternoon, Councilman. My name is Elle Farmer, and I'm speaking on behalf of the 30,000 members of the Hospitality and Food Service Workers Union Unite here at Local 11. We urge your committee to authorize the MOU between the city and this developer, AECOM, and to direct the CLA to negotiate the terms of the revenue participation agreement to support this project. The AECOM Hotel project will bring a variety of high-quality jobs to the area. The project is already fully entitled with the investment here to close the gap, needed to close this financing gap. The city and the developer can make this project and these good jobs a reality. We ask that you move forward with the revenue participation agreement and approve the CLA's recommendations. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Councilman. I'm Ron Miller with the LA Orange County Building Trades, and I echo what the previous speakers talked about. We support this project. We have an all-union project labor agreement. It does facilitate local hire. I'm sorry, Joe, it's not in your area, but we are working on good stuff in your area. So please support this project. Let's move it forward. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Any other comment on this item? We'll close public comment. Do we have a report?
Good afternoon. My name is Andy Galong with the Office of the Chief Legislative Analyst. Before you is a report relative to an evaluation of the proposed AECOM hotel project located at 1155 South Olive Street. The project is a 16-story select service hotel with a total of 258 rooms. The project will include ground-level restaurant and retail space, meeting space, a rooftop deck, and a fitness center. At the direction of council, an independent consultant was retained to review the project's construction and finance plans, as well as potential revenues that the project may generate. The independent consultant determined that the project's feasibility gap was $50,563,000. The review also determined that the project would generate $34,602,000 in net new site revenue. Pursuant to city policy, the developer is eligible to receive $17,301, which is 50% of the new revenue generated. The remaining revenues would be new revenue to the general fund. The MOU attached to the report would provide a framework for negotiations with the developer. The MOU provides that the developer receives $17,301,000 in financial assistance, subject to a final cost reconciliation completed by an independent party. That the project achieve and maintain a 3-star rating, and that the developer provide a community benefits package, including local hiring, living wage compliance, job training initiatives, and a room block agreement for the Los Angeles Convention Center. The project would result in 397 construction-related jobs and 221 permanent full-time jobs. The project would also provide hotel support for the convention center and contribute 258 hotel rooms within half a mile of the convention center, towards the council's policy goal of the development of 8,000 hotel rooms within walking distance of the convention center. The developer has begun site preparation and pre-construction activities. All entitlements and environmental assessments have been completed and approved, and the project is ready to begin construction upon final determination of incentive support. Our office recommends the council authorize the mayor to execute a memorandum of understanding between the City of Los Angeles and AECOM South Park LLC, providing terms for agreements necessary to provide a revenue participation agreement to close the financing gap in the AECOM hotel project. And that the council direct the chief legislative analyst, with assistance of the city attorney and other departments as necessary, to negotiate the final definitive documents necessary to provide a revenue participation agreement to support the AECOM Hotel project for consideration by council. I'm available for any questions. Thank you.
Well, we're excited about the plan for an additional 250 rooms. Is that the hotel count?
Correct.
As we inch toward the 10,000 or the 8,000. So this is a good step and a good development. Councilman Buscaino, any comments or thoughts?
Yeah, well, my only comment would be, and and Ron Miller took it out of my words, that I would only oppose this because this is not my district. So but I'm not going to. That'd be the only reason. Again, in a time where we have to be competitive in our convention and hotel market here, this project will definitely continue to march toward a city that will continue to be comparable and competitive with convention and meeting spaces. And this is just an exciting project to have the partnership with our labor brothers and sisters here and AECOM. It makes it even more enticing to maybe not support it. We appreciate the report, and let's get shovels in the ground, and let's get another crane up in downtown LA.
Okay, thank you for the report. And if there are no other objections or comments, I move that we approve the CLA report. And if there are no objections, that will be the order. Mr. Clerk, anything else before us at this time?
No, sir, that clears the desk.
All right, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you.